The power of good is more terrible than the power of evil. You know, it ain't Satan with demons coming back shooting lasers on people, man. It's gonna be Yahweh Shai with his holy angels, man. That's powerful, man. Blasting people to nothing, man. You know, hey, it's beautiful and it's terrible, man. That's terrible, all right? Everybody gonna be afraid, man.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
This is Job chapter 18, verse 11. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. Now this is going to happen to the so-called white man, okay? You so-called white people, you're going to be terrified, all right? Terrors will make you afraid on every side, okay? And you're going to have no place to run to, no safe haven, all right? Because your kingdom is going down, all right? And it's going to go down drastically, okay? You're going to lose everything, okay? And the whole world will rise up against you, okay?
And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
All right. First and foremost, I give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who will teach well. I say shalom to the hopeful elect and the occupant out there pushing this word and this truth into sincerity across the four winds in the names of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. All right, I'm the brother now from GMS Mississippi Camp. All right, I'm back at you on another list today. And listen, here's going to be entitled, They Have Become Vain. All right. So they have become vain. All right, we're going to be digging into a couple of scriptures going into, you know, what it means for someone to become vain. You know, that when you go into the word vain, it means that excessive pride, you know, showing undue, you know, basically overall becoming worthless. All right. So again, they have become vain. All right, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead. We're going to dive. We're going to open up with the scriptures. All right, we're going to get some definitions, and you know, we're going to get back into some scriptures as well. All right, so let's dive into it. In a second, Bible Shah, we can get the scripture pulled up. All right, first scripture we're going to dig into is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 5. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter. 1 second, Bible Shop. Okay, it's good. Salakia. All right, it's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, and verse 5. It says, Thus saith Yahweh Shem Shai, what iniquity have your fathers found in me, that they have gone far from me and have walked after vanity and are become vain. All right. So Yahweh Shem Shai is saying, you know, what iniquity, you know, what wickedness have you found in me, you know, that you've gone far, or that, you know, what iniquity that your father found in me, that they've gone far from me, you know, and begin to walk in vanity and become vain. All right. So what we're gonna do really quick is understand. Let's get these words vanity and vain really quick. All right. 1 second. Let me pull it up. Just a few quick definitions here. We're gonna grab that word vain first. Let's grab that word vain. Give me 1 second, Bob Shaw. All right, here's that word vain here in a Google search. Just simply, the word vain, having or showing undue or excess pride in one's appearance or achievements. All right, conceited. All right, marked by futility. All right, and ineffectualness. All right, unsuccessful, useless, vain efforts to escape. So the point is, they have become vain. They've become useless. All right, they become worthless. All right. So just a few quick similar words here is worthless, self-absorbed, self-admiring, and vain. All right, ineffective. We're gonna grab that word futile as well. All right, but the point here, what we're looking at is that word vain. When we see it, it begins to mean they have become worthless. All right, they have become pointless. The scripture says they're not they're not bearing good fruit. All right, it's become worthless. All right, let's grab that word vain here in the etymon. One second. All right, this is that word vain here in the etymon. All right. Vain here in the etymon, it says having no value or importance, idle, profitless, fruitless, producing no good result, worthless, void, invalid, feeble. All right. So empty, void. All right. Fruitless. All right. We're steady seeing these things where, here it also goes into that word silly, idle, or foolish. All right. And foolish connects to folly, which connects to wickedness as well. And we're going to get that. All right, so to bring it, full circle, they basically have become wicked. They become vain. They become worthless. They become foolish. All right, they become wicked. All right, and let's grab that word vanity as well. So like it. Grabbing a few quick definitions before we dig into the rest of the precepts. All right, this is that word vanity here. All right, because the scripture says they walked after vanity and become vain. All right, so that word vanity is excessive pride and admiration in one's own appearance or achievement. So you become very, very prideful. Pride comes before destruction, as the scripture say. All right. The quality of being worthless or futile. If someone is worthless, like if someone is super prideful, all right, it's worthless. You can't deal with them. All right, you can't get nothing. You can't get nothing done. You can't get anything completed. You can't. It's pointless. It's worthless. All right, it becomes a headache, and when someone is that prideful, man. So back, we see that word futile as well. I have that word futile brought up. Let's grab that one more definition, and then we'll go back into the scriptures as well. All right, this is that word futile. It says incapable of producing any useful result or pointless. All right. So when someone has become that when someone seeks out the vanity, that pride, they have become useless. All right, they have become pointless. All right, you can't produce anything with them. All right, so let's go back into the scripture again, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 5. Let's reread that again. All right, now that we have the definitions going into that word vanity and vain, let's read it again. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 5. Thus said Yahweh Bashim Shah, what iniquity have your fathers found in me, that they have gone far from me and have walked out to vanity, walked out to pride. All right, they have walked out to their own lusts, all right, their so-called own achievements, all right, and have become vain. All right, they've become useless. All right, they've become unprofitable. All right, they become foolish. All right, they become wicked, fruitless. All right, having no value or importance. All right, so Yahweh Shema Shai is saying, like, what wickedness have you found in me to where you want to walk after your own pride and become wicked, man? All right, you want to walk after your own pride and become worthless. Because you're worthless to Yahweh Shema Shai. Shit. And there's no helping you, man. All right. Let's go into the next scripture. All right. The next scripture is Romans chapter 1 and verse 21. Because it did say foolish as well. So we're gonna grab that word foolish and we're gonna grab that word folly just to connect it after this one here. All right. This is Romans chapter 21. All right. This is Romans chapter 1 and verse 21. Because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as the Most High, neither were thankful, and became vain. They became worthless. All right. They became unprofitable. All right. In their own imaginations, and they were foolish, and their foolish heart was darkened. All right. Their foolish heart became darkened. All right. Let's grab these other quick definitions real quick. Just three definitions going into that word foolish. All right. Really quick. Let's grab that, and then we'll kind of have the definitions out of the way. Give me 1 second. This is the word foolish here in a quick Google search. A person or action lacking good sense, judgment, or unwise. All right. It says when you look up some of the words here, the synonyms, it says stupid, silly, idiotic, all right, brainless, mindless, all right, thoughtless, all right. Again, that word foolish also connects to the word folly as well. All right, so let's grab that word folly really quick. We're going to grab that in two places. This is that word folly here on the Google. It says lacking good sense or foolishness. So we started to see the connection between foolishness and folly. All right, now let's bring it full circle. Let's grab that same word folly here in the etymon. All right, this is that word folly here on the etymon. It says mental weakness, foolish behavior or character, unwise conduct. All right, it says including wickedness, lewdness, or madness. But the point is, it's include wickedness. All right, madness, stupidity, wickedness. All right, so that word vain connects to being vain, connects to being foolish and folly and wicked, man. All right, so now let's go back to the scriptures. All right, this is that Romans chapter 1 verse 21 again. Because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as the Most High, neither were thankful, but became vain. All right, they became very prideful in their imaginations, and they became foolish. And their foolish heart was darkened. You know, that wicked heart that they had was darkened. You know, they began to be stuck in that. All right. Let's look at a few quick translations here really quick. This is the NLT. It says, yes, they knew the Most High, and they would not worship him as the Most High or even give him thanks. And they began to think up foolish ideas. The word foolish goes into folly, which goes into wickedness. All right. They began to think up foolish ideas of what the Most High was like. As a result, their minds became darkened and confused. All right, so we begin to see these things over. It's playing out again as we begin to see these people heap out there, they're having itchy ears for their own bullshit that they enjoy. All right, and the Most High had a lot of people darkened, confused, and stuck in that. All right, let's grab that in NLT. For although they knew the Most High and they did not glorify Him as the Most High or give Him thanks, but they became futile. All right, they became futile. What's that word futile mean? Incapable of producing any useful result, or pointless. All right, they became futile. They became pointless. All right, and their thoughts and their senses and their senseless hearts was darkened. All right, so they became vain, man. All right, they walked after that vanity, after that pride, and they want to build their own ways. All right, and then they became vain. They became worthless. All right, and this is an example of we have many examples of the Most High Yahweh, and saying Yahweh Shai showing us what to do and what not to do. All right. These are one of those things that are really to keep us and show it, okay, this is what we're not supposed to do. We're not supposed to be walking after our own knowledge or after our own trying to do our own thing. All right. And we need to acknowledge Yahweh Shema Shai and give them the glory so that we don't and not walk after vanity so that we don't become vain. All right. Let's go back to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, and verse 3. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, and verse 3. It says, "For the customs of the people are vain." All right? For the customs of the people are vain. All right, one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of hands, the work of the hands of the worksman with the axe. All right, and as you continue to read, this is verses 3 and 4 goes into so-called Christmas. All right, because it says they deck that tree with silver and gold and fasten it down with nails and hammers so it does not move. You know, that's the old ways how they used to do the Christmas trees. All right, those are idols. But the point of this lesson here, the customs of the people are vain. All right, the customs of the people are they have no value. All right, they have no importance. All right, but they walk after that vanity. All right, let's go ahead and NLT. Their ways have become futile and foolish. They cut down the tree, and a craftsman carves an idol. All right, so what was that? Again, off topic here. That tree goes into the Christmas tree, and this says the craftsman crafts an idol. All right, the Christmas tree is an idol. All right, but the point is listed here is their ways are futile and foolish. All right, so when you walk after vanity, your ways become futile and foolish. They become pointless. They become useless. All right, they become wicked. All right, this is the NAT for the religion of these people is worthless. They cut down a tree in the forest, and the craftsman makes it into an idol with his tools. All right. So again, we know that that's used. All right, when it goes into the pagan worship of Christmas. All right, but for the point of this lesson here, that can also be used as the customs, the religions, and the thoughts and the ways and the ordinances of these people have become vain. It's become worthless. All right, it's become wicked. All right. Two more precepts real quick. All right, let's grab we're gonna stay in Jeremiah 10. We're gonna scroll down to verse 14 and 15. All right. Every man is brutish in his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image, for his molded image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. There's no life in them. There's no wisdom in them. All right. They are vanity. All right. They are vanity. All right. The work of errors in the time their visitation, in the time of their visitation, they will perish. All right. So again, people have been when you walk out there that vanity, you begin to get so stuck up in pride and your own knowledge and what you think you can do. All right, and when you begin to think, almost think that you, and some people are like that, almost think that you above your how about your shot. All right, and you become vain, you become wicked, you become useless. All right, you have no value, no importance. All right, but it says that they after that they shall perish. All right, because at that point you're not you're not giving off any good fruit, and that word fruit go and the word fruit can also mean goes into your work, what you're putting out. All right, let's grab that and then we're gonna close out. Let's grab the book of Matthew chapter 7 and verse 19 and 20. Matthew chapter 7 verses 19 and 20, and this is Yahweh Shah speaking. It says, every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewed down and is cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. All right. So if you begin to walk out the vanity and you become vain, you know, and Yahweh Shah hardens that on you. All right. You what good fruit can you put out? Because it says it's pointless. All right, you can't succeed. It's worthless. All right, it's unprofitable. All right, what is does a bad tree profit good fruit? Or does it put out good fruit? No, it puts out bad fruit. That bad fruit is pointless. It's unprofitable. You can't do nothing with it. You can't trade it. You can't eat it. It's just there. It's just shit that's taking up space. All right. But for the point of the scriptures here, let's read it again. It says, every tree that bringeth not good fruit shall be hewed down and cast into the fire. All right, the thermonuclear missiles gonna make a real believer out of a lot of people, and at that point in time, it's gonna be too late. We just gonna have to see you in the kingdom again. Abaratazah, Yahweh Shema Shah, continue to keep the spirit on us to continue to not walk out the vanity and not have a vain heart. All right. We begin to get that our heart begins to become a heart of flesh. All right, it begins to be penetrable because our hearts and our what goes into our which is our mind. This word Yahweh Shema Shah penetrates us. All right, penetrates us and makes us responsive. All right, but let's get this last little bit of this point that we're gonna close out. Let's read this one more time. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 19 and 20. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewed down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. All right, let's grab that word fruits, what it means right here real quick. It says, by their fruits ye shall know them. All right, which goes into your works. All right, it says that, and we're going to look at the second definition here. It says that which originates and comes from something and affect the result. All right, so by what you're doing are your works, your acts, your deeds. All right, it says praises which are presented to the Most High as a thank offering, and we saw in that first scripture in Jeremiah that they would not give those thanks to Yahweh Shema Shah. All right, so by their fruit, we knew we could see by what we were reading. All right, what would happen to them? All right, being that they're gonna be cast into their fire. All right, 1 second, Baba Shah. Come. Okay, come. So again, we know by your actions, your deeds, your work. All right, that's going to determine what type of fruit you produce. All right, and if you as a tree is not producing good fruits, then Yahweh Shema Shah is going to cast you into that fire, man. All right, and there none of us know. All right, we just continue to give the thanks and put the work in, so we can have a better chance. All right, but a lot of people with by their fruits and what they're producing, we can see that we have really good eyes, man. We have really good eyes in this thing. All right, we good. All right, we just got to continue. We're not good as in we know. Let me say it's the right way. We're good as in we've got the roadmap. We know what we have to do. And our baratas are of the number, and we just continue we just continue to press forward. All right, to seek that crown, Yahweh Shema Shah. All right, so I can seek that crown of righteousness that's given to us by Yahweh Shema Shah. All right. So again, the point of this lesson is we cannot walk out the vanity. We cannot walk out to our own pride. All right, we cannot, because pride comes before destruction. All right, we can't heap out our own knowledge. All right, we can't do anything. We got to seek out the Yahweh Shema Shah and give that thanks. All right, and so that we do not become vain, we have to continue to be meek and humble. All right, we have to continue to humble ourselves. All right, so that we do not become vain. All right, so that we do not become a worthless, unprofitable tree. All right, that does not bear any good fruit. All right, so again, I feel like that was the point. All right, I pray this lesson was edifying to you. All right, till again, I'm gonna say a ball, Kram Rashala, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachak Radash, Brakathon, Shalom.